Are storm doors still a thing? Do people use them? Is it too ugly? Is it too old? Is it too country? Is it too city? I don't know the answers to any of these questions. I'm not a design expert, but what I do know is we wanted one. If you don't already have a ton of natural light coming in, you can crack open your front door and still have some sort of protection from the elements. Did I say elements? I think I just said ailments. Elements. My name is Colton, and today I'll be demonstrating how I installed a Andersen storm door. Now, this video is not sponsored by Andersen. I just see their products and ads everywhere, and so I thought, give it a try. All the products and tools that I used for this project will be down below in the description, so go check those out. And the time that it took me to complete this project was probably about 2 hours. So let's get started. Here's where I'm going to install the storm door. Measure out your door frame. I did 3 measurements: bottom, middle, and top, to make sure it was square. A majority of the exterior door jambs have this little area that you can measure. This is what you need to get the measurement from in order to determine the height and width of your storm door. I ended up getting this storm door from Andersen Window and Doors. It's 36 by 80 inches. Lay the box down, crack it open, and let's assemble it. Now, while you're assembling, you need to make sure that you have planned out which way the door is going to swing. So if I were looking at the house from the curb, I'm going to install it so the handle is on the right and I pull it open towards me. Pay attention to where this sticker says top and interior, because the hinge needs to be on the opposite side of the handle. So I'm going to take this hinge piece, knowing that the top interior sticker is facing up, and I'm going to install the hinge so it's on the right side of the door. Open up the hinge, get your screws, and drill in one. The hinge actually kind of locks in. There's this little lip, and you'll want to leave about 1/8 of an inch overhang on the top of the door. It'll make sense later. Once you're confident in that placement, the fuzzy part of this hinge should hook onto the interior side of the door. Now tap in the rest of the screws for the hinges. Now grab the bottom sweep and put that into place. This will also kind of lock into the door, so make sure that your left and right are aligned with the door. Take the screws, screw them in, but don't tighten it down all the way, because when the door is actually installed in your doorway, you're going to adjust the sweep, so don't tighten it down yet. Take this spacer and put it over the sweep. This will make sense also later. And this spacer was actually supposed to have a little slot so the screw could be in the middle of it and I could tighten it down, but it didn't. So if yours doesn't, just put it next to the side and have the screw kind of hold it in place. Grab this other spacer and place it about 6 inches from the bottom. And you'll want to make sure that this gray plastic piece is covering the hole on the hinge side, because you want the latch hardware to be usable. Now place the door in your doorway, remembering that the interior sticker needs to go on the interior side. And remember that your door should be resting on those spacers, the one on the door sweep and this other one. And keep this spacer against the wood as much as possible, because now you'll kind of move the door a little bit to make sure it's as straight as possible on the hinge side. And you use the screws, they actually screw into the wood. Once the door is straight, use the screws and tighten them down. For this spacer, like I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure the spacer is snug up against this wood the entire time. They also have this hole here to indicate that you have enough wood to screw in everything else and have the door still work properly. So make sure this hole still has plenty of wood while installing. Open your door and you're going to take the screws and fasten down inside on the hinge side. Pre-drill the hole if you feel the need to, or you can just go for it and fasten them down. Now Andersen suggests to take this plastic plug and put it in the middle of this piece that goes on top of your door. It could be a spacing thing, but I'm not entirely sure why this is a needed step. I did it regardless, and then now you can take this top piece and install it. Take this piece and put it on top. Make sure that the fuzzy side is towards you, so as it shuts, it's kind of a seal, and this piece is level, and there's wood that's going to catch the screws. Once you're satisfied, fasten it down. Now here's one thing that I learned. When I put the hinge on the door, I actually left too much on the top, and so when I closed this door, it didn't really seal properly. There was a huge gap on the right side, so I had to take this door off and adjust the hinge and make sure that I really stuck to the 1/8 inch rule on the top, fasten it all back down, and then it was tighter and it worked. Now take this piece, and essentially it's a cover for the piece that you just installed. It does kind of snap into place, so get that positioned, line it up on both left and right sides, and fasten it down. Next, I took these sticky little spacers, put one on the top, in the middle, and at the bottom. This will help you maintain the appropriate gap for the next piece you're about to install. Grab this last long piece with the fuzzy part for the door, put it up there, shut the door, and then identify where it's going to be straight. Make sure the holes allow you to screw into some wood and fasten those down. Now you can remove those sticky spacers, and if there's any holes on the edge of your door, there's some plugs you can use. Next, grab the drill set that they provide. This should have a bit in there for you and also a template. Unfold the template and align these arrows with the holes that are currently in the edge of the door. Now make a mark at the top of the paper. Do this to both sides. Now take the entire template and wrap it around your door lining up those lines that you made a mark. Take some tape and hold this template in place, because this is where you're going to take a punch or a tap in the middle of these holes, and then you're going to take your drill bit and you're going to drill out the holes. The tap is there so your bit doesn't wander, and it makes it easier to drill. You'll also need a smaller drill bit to drill out these ones, and once you have that, do it to the other side and remove the template. Now you can take the hardware, put it on for the outside, do the other side for the interior, take a screw, tighten it down, line it up. Then take the actual latch, insert that, align the holes, and tighten it down. You also want to make sure that the latch is facing the right way. Now assemble the handle. Make sure both sides of the handle has this plastic washer. Put this rod through, attach the handles, and tighten it down with an Allen wrench. Do this to both sides. Now take the locking mechanism, go from the interior side of the door to the exterior, make sure it's in there evenly, take the screw, and tighten it in place. Now go to the strike plate side of the door, take the strike plate, install it by fastening down these screws. Now grab the handle for your screen. At the very top of your door, you'll see these two holes. Place the handle and fasten it down. Now remove those orange stoppers on your door if you haven't already. Close the door all the way. And this is where I like to adjust the door sweep. And as you can see here, I need to go down all the way. So I loosen the screws, let the door sweep drop, and then I tighten it down. Now to install the hydraulic closer. This is not really a perfect science, but I took this bracket and I put it in the same space as if this area of the door continued to the door jamb. Put this lip at the very edge of the door jamb, made some marks, pre-drilled it, and screwed in the screws. Then I took this little triangle hook piece, hooked it in, and I took the actual hydraulic piece, put that in, and there's a pin, and I put that in as well. This is all kind of temporary, so I can get some placement on the actual storm door. And right here is where I realized that this third screw shouldn't go in yet, because this triangle piece needs to hook in, and it is fastened down with this third screw, fastening the bracket to this other bracket to the door jamb. So unscrew that and then tighten it all back down. Close the door all the way, put the hydraulic closer with this bracket on the door, pre-drill a hole on where it should go, then you can fasten down the bracket with some screws. Make sure this is all tightened up, take the last pin for the hydraulic closer, put that in there, lock it into place, and now that's good to go. Remove the spacer if it's still there. Test out your door to make sure that it works properly. Head back outside, take the trim pieces, install them on the top and the sides, covering all the screws, and these essentially click into place. Once that's done, remove the stickers, test out the half screen door, and now you're done. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. If you liked what you just watched, hit that subscribe button right here. Or if you don't want to commit all the way and subscribe, then maybe just give it a like and maybe share with your friends or family. But also if you want to check out other videos that I've completed in the past, click this link right here. Thanks again.